Hi everyone, welcome to Happy Hour with Karen, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's Karen Otis. I'm so happy you're here with me. And today's topic is a biggie. It's like the age-old struggle of balance, right? And for most of us, especially in this high-tech, high-speed world, balancing it all can be a nightmare. So not only do we have to balance, work and family and friends and love, but we also have to find time for self-care for ourselves. And sometimes that means time alone as well. So it can just be a whole lot of stuff trying to all fit together to create that epic life that you want. All right. So what is the key to juggling it all and feeling like you have a well-balanced composition? Well, to me, a well-balanced life, what that means is you have a handle on all the various elements of your life, right? All those different parts, those different components, that you have all of those well-balanced so that you then don't feel like you're pulled too hard in one direction or another. Hi Tish, nice to see you watching. So that you're not pulled in too many directions. And what that does is that gets you feeling grounded and in control and centered. So a well-balanced life really gives you that well-balanced heart and soul and mind. All right. So the first thing that we need to acknowledge, if you want to get to that well-grounded and well-balanced place, you've got to acknowledge this one thing, and this one may be tough for some. This one thing is that you alone are the builder of your life. I know we like to think that life happens to us, that we're just, the product of whatever life throws at us, that we just react to what life gives us or throws at us, but that's not the case. We actually are the ones that create our life. We're fully in charge of designing that life. Okay, and so the minute you take that accountability, that you're no longer reacting to life, but you're turning those letters around and creating your life, that's the very first step, okay? And you may think that you don't have control, that your life is controlling you, but that's really not the case. Okay, so that's number one. We have to acknowledge that if we don't feel balanced in our lives, it's up to us to change things, to make a difference in our life, to modify and adjust things. Okay. And the second part of that is that every single thing in our life is a distinct choice that we are making. Okay, so it might be that something is thrown at you, but how you respond to it, how you handle the things that are thrown to you, those are all choices within your control. And so you might feel like you've been heading down this path, vigorously pushing ahead, maybe in work, let's just say, and but you've spent so much focus on that you kind of feel off kilter, like the other parts of your life are ignored or, brushed aside, okay, that they got left behind. So it's key to make sure that when you are taking all the factors of your life, okay, like I said, work, family, friends, your love, your hobbies, and leisure time, all those things. If too much energy is disproportionately going to one, you're going to feel off kilter on the other ones. All right? I'm going to give you two different metaphors for you to visualize what I'm talking about. And I'm not sure which one will be better for you, so kind of hear me out on both and choose the imagery that works best for you. One is like you're juggling, okay? So I use this one with my office staff all the time. I say, you know what? You're juggling different projects. In this case, you're juggling how to balance, home is one of the things you're throwing up there, and juggling, kids, love life or significant other, work, you're juggling everything. And you can't just focus on the one or the other balls are going to drop. And the key is keep all the balls up in the air. So if that means you got to constantly be moving, picking up another one, that's what it takes. It's more about that fluidity, establishing a rhythm where you're going from one to the next with ease and that rhythm you've set is keeping all those balls in the air, okay? The second imagery I'm going to give you, because there's a few things that are not great about that last one, about the juggling. One is that, you have to quickly change, and it kind of gives you a sense of panic, right? And that I don't want you to feel. So the other metaphor that might work better, the imagery, is of a canoe, okay? You're in a canoe, and the point of the canoe needs to be directed to where you're headed, right? And sometimes you can get off course. Let's say you're paddling too much on the right-hand side. You've got to redirect, so you got to go to the left-hand side. You've got to make a shift to keep that going in the direction that you want. So choose the imagery that works best for you, okay? All right. So let us jump into, hang on just a minute. So as the architect of your life, creating your epic life, you have all the control to design it the way you want. And sometimes we get so weighed down with our routine, right? We consider all these things obligations that we have to do, so we start working at a job that's not fulfilling, or we don't get a lot of sleep because we're pushing so hard and no leisure time. And you kind of start to feel drained and like everything's out of balance. Nothing is effective no matter where you put your time into it. So the sooner that you get that balance in your life with all these components, and I'll be sharing with you in just a minute some really good 5 steps to do that are just, they're the ticket, okay? They are what you need to do. So the sooner you get that balance, the more clarity and focus you'll have to create that epic life that you, as the architect of your life, can do. So it's super important. That's just letting you know how important it is to get your canoe moving smoothly, or keep the balls in the air, like I like to say. My office staff, if they're watching, is probably going, oh my God, she's talking about keeping the balls up in the air again. But it's a really good image too, so whichever is best for you. Okay, so we're each going to have a different vision for our life that is what well-balanced looks like, okay? So it might be different for you versus, somebody else, a friend of yours versus me, what that will look like. But it's going to be unique to you because we each have different talents, needs, wants, desires, and responsibilities. So it will show up a little differently for each person, kind of depending on what your needs and your desires are. If family is super important to you, that might be higher than for someone else where it's not as important to them. All right, so here are the steps. I'm going to first tell you one thing. Well, actually, I'll do it at the very end. I have a really great download for you that is, it's a really great download. I'm hoping I have the, yes, I have it for you. It's a really great download that what it is it allows you to see, are you in balance or not? Okay, because you might be perfectly in balance and you don't even need to hear what I've got to say to you today, right? You might just be a balance pro. But the key is you need to, if you download this worksheet, which I will put in the comments below, I'll put the link to it in the comments for me. And it has you look at each part of your life and you look at where are you, if you've got 100% of you, right? You've got 100% of your time. How do you break that up? So, for example, what percentage of your time is going to work? What percentage of your time is going to family? What percentage is going to your leisure, your fun? What percentage is going to your significant other, your love, significant love or love mate or spouse? And where you are today, so I want you to do this worksheet. If you find it helpful, it'll say, where are you currently? What percentage are you giving to work? Maybe it's 20%, maybe it's 50%, maybe it's 80%. But it's good to realize then what's left over for you and how is that broken down into the other aspects of your life. And that will be your current state. Now, what would be preferred for you? Hi, Randy. I see you watching too. Thanks for joining. So what is preferred? Maybe preferred for you is, no, I only want to be at, I don't know, instead of 80%, I want to be at 60% for work, so I have 40% to share around to family, my love life, my children, etc. So it's a really great worksheet to help you see if you are in alignment, if you are in that great place of balance or not. And it will allow you to see which spaces are or which aspects of your life are lacking. Okay, so if you find that you are lacking that balance, I've got the 5 steps for you to regain it. Number 1, self-care. Self-care is the first one, and it's usually the last one that we tend to, right? We usually tend to our family, our work, our friends, everybody else that needs us, our clients, and we leave ourselves kind of by the waysides. But the key is that everything starts, and here comes my architecture again, I know, I can't help myself. Everything starts with a solid foundation. And if you are not taking care of yourself, if you aren't creating your own solid foundation, which is your health, your mindset, if that's not there, you won't be good for any of those other aspects of your life. You'll be trying to put in all this energy to work, but you'll fall short because you won't be as productive or effective. You won't be as good for your family because you're not feeling 100% yourself. So self-care is a biggie. So remember to take time for yourself so that you feel like you've got quality sleep, you feel like you're exercising, you're taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul. Number 2, envision what balance looks like for you. Now, I mentioned that it's different for every person, right? My view of my life balanced might look very different than one of yours. So have a clear vision. What does what I like to call your life inspired, that epic life, what does that look like to you? Does it look like that you are working 90% of the time, that you're able to focus that much? Or does it look like, no, I'd want to work maybe no more than 50% of my energy towards work, 50% of my time, whatever that might look like to you. There's not a right or wrong answer. Some people might feel like, they don't really want to make their love life a priority right now. And so maybe for them, that part's really low. Other people might feel like that part's more important because that's the part that's kind of hurting or falling short for them. So figure out what your vision of balance in your life looks like, okay? Because the minute you have a vision, and this is what we work on in the program that I do, is that the minute you have a vision, you can then take the steps to make that vision a reality. But it starts with a vision, just like in architecture. If I don't have this great creative idea in my head of what this building should look like, or what it should be about, what its meaning and what the creativity should really generate, then I have nothing to go off of. So the vision is key. It's got to be there at the very beginning. All right. Because then you can take the inspired action, which is the second component, right? You've got to have the vision, and then comes the inspired action to make that vision a reality, not just a dream. Third, smell the roses. I know that sounds like so trite, but don't neglect the joys and pleasures of life. Sometimes when we're working on balancing everything, and we've got a lot that, like I said, pick a metaphor, either that you're juggling or that you've got this canoe, when you've got so many things affecting you, we forget to just enjoy. And we decide, I'll enjoy later. I got to get all this. I got to achieve this. I got to, accomplish this goal. I have to make this amount of money. I need to be at this level. Whatever it is that we think, oh, I'll get to the happy place and the enjoyment place later. I'm here to tell you that needs to be in your life right now. So take time to enjoy the pleasures of life. Enjoy inspired moments and enjoy the beauty around you with family, with friends, whatever it might be. Choose relationships that you engage in that invigorate you, that excite you, that don't leave you drained, but actually nourish your soul. Number 4, okay? 4th thing that I need you to do if you want to get that balance back in your life. 4 is let stuff go. Now, not everything. What I'm talking about here is we can exert a whole lot of negative energy when we are angry, when we are resentful, when we have regrets and grudges. And all of that does take up part of our 100% energy, right? We've only got 100% energy and time. If you're using it on this negative stuff, then you're depleting the energy that you could be putting into the aspects of your life that you do want to balance. So that one is never any good. To have that kind of holding grudges, resentment, anger, it literally hurts you more than anything. It depletes you, and it will keep you away from that balance because it is taking away a part of that 100% that you really need. Okay? So when you clear out that baggage of negativity, and what happens is you allow space in your own heart, mind, soul to really bring the rest of your 100% of your energy in. So don't give it away to that. That just, that's a no good thing. All right. And the 5th one, okay? Now, this is not mindset stuff. This is not, how you should think of things. This is action. Here's the inspired action that will get you to balance everything. Okay, I like to call it schedule it all. Okay, so anything that you want to be a part of your balanced life, you gotta schedule it. You can't just say to yourself, I'm gonna spend some time on this new hobby that I really want to learn, or a skill I want to enhance, because it'll never happen. Okay, we all know that, right? Like you say, I'm gonna do it, but life is busy, and all that other stuff that's fighting for your attention just will get in the way, and that thing will never happen unless you schedule it. Okay, so set aside a time for every aspect of your life that is important to you for balance. Okay, assign an appropriate time for each activity based on the priority and put it on your schedule. So I'll give you an example. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say your love relationship. You never can you always say, yeah, I'm going to spend more time with my guy, or I'm going to find a way to get more connected and spend time together. Okay, that's too vague. It's not going to happen. It's going to continuously be something you want to do, but not something you are doing. So I'm a huge fan of date night. I know it sounds kind of like, oh, trivial, like, yeah, we go out on a date night. It's super important. And I know Jeff and I, we make it a priority every single week. So when you have that time set aside, that's how you create balance, because it's already there. I don't need to worry about it. That time will be fun and connected, and I've got it fully in my schedule. Okay, another example, you've got a couple of kids and you want, especially if you've got like a boy and a girl and they don't necessarily love to do the same thing, and you feel like your time isn't super connected with them. And I used to do that with my kids, Jacob and Marlia. I used to spend an hour a week alone with each of them. So whether it was, a mani-pedi with my daughter, whether it was taking Jacob to Benihana and having our tep-on table lunch, whatever it might be, set aside that time, put it in the calendar, put it on your schedule. Even things like home, or things like self-care. I put that on my schedule. So Sunday mornings to me is my lazy morning. Okay, so that's when I get to, I'm going to do my whole microdermabrasion. I'm going to do my creams and my, my facial and mask and all that. And I schedule it in. And that's really why I think my life feels very balanced, because things are scheduled in, so I know everything gets tended to. Okay? So make sure you do that. And so, you know, life is inherently going to be a balancing act. It's not like a destination you get to. It's something you have to continuously do. You know, imagine yourself juggling those balls like I mentioned. It's not like you get there and you're done. You got to keep doing it. Or let's look at that canoe we talked about. The water's going to be, you know, the water doesn't stay all steady. Sometimes the canoe will feel like, oh, we're tipping this way, we're tipping that way, we're veering this way off course or that way. It's constant to try to maintain that balance so that you can head in the direction of your epic life. All right, so hopefully let me know which metaphor worked better for you, or you may have another one completely. And make it a point to schedule those things so that you can really achieve the balance that you want in your life. Because like I said, a well-balanced life creates a well-balanced and happy mind and soul. All right? So until next time, make sure you look below. I'm going to post the link for where you can do the assessment to see if you feel like you are imbalanced or not, or which parts are draining you more than others. All right, I'll put that down in the comments. Leave your comments. I love to hear them. So thank you so much, and until next time, don't make a happy hour just 1 hour of happy. Okay, bye-bye.